Good morning, friends. Kevin, your budget travel guy here, and today we're going to talk about Mammoth Cave National Park in central Kentucky. This was the first time that I had gone to this particular national park, and it works differently than other national parks that at least I have been to. So let's get into talking about that. Okay, the first thing with most national parks is as soon as you drive in, there is about a $30 per car entrance fee. You don't have that at Mammoth Cave. The only other park that I know of, and there may be more if there are, of the 57 or so major national parks that you have experienced that just don't have an entrance fee any time of year, be sure to put that down in the comments. But the only other one I know of is Smoky Mountains National Park. Now, as far as Mammoth Cave, just being able to drive in and drive up to the visitor center without having to pay a bunch of money or pull out the annual pass card or anything was a little bit odd. Now, going into the visitor center, which is pretty much all you're going to do once you make this roughly 5-mile drive back in there.
He made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel! My master is good at.
They have a bunch of tours. They have about 8 different cave tours you can take. One of them, when they kind of fill up, they'll end up doing another one that tends to be for people who don't move around well. Okay, that's not real strenuous. But the other tours they have, they range from going about 1/8 of a mile back into one of these with a total of maybe 12 steps, all the way to one that goes quite a ways back in there and has over 500 steps to contend with. So you're going to see a few clips from one that I did. Now, these tours are going to range between about $10 and $18 a person. If you have an access pass, the pass for people who are disabled or the pass for people who are retired, that cuts that down to about half price. So you're going to be roughly $10 a person to take one of these tours. And that is basically what you are going to do. There's one tour that starts out, kind of goes behind the visitor center and down under it and begins. The rest, they take you out on shuttle buses to go to the entrance of whichever one that you're going to. And you'll be with 1 or 2 rangers. And at least the tour I was on, the people were nice.
Don't put it on right now. I probably would.
Well, I made it like 12 feet before I hit my head, so that was good.
Crickets right there on the ceiling.
We're going to come back out this way. So as we walk through these rooms, I'm just going to walk.
Hey, buddy.
I'm just going to keep on moving slowly. This is the natural color. Up the walls. Think of the Grand Canyon. The river started at the top. And over time, it eroded deeper and deeper into that canyon. Well, these upper tunnels used to have water in them, and the water was eroding through. And in some places, you can see if the water flowed through and flowed around against the wall, you can see where it flowed. But in other places, you can't, because once the water left, this began to dry out. What's happening to the dirt and mud as it dries out on the surface? It cracks. And if these rocks dry out, they crack. And if they crack too much, they pull away from the rock. And instead of seeing nice smooth walls, we see a big jagged sharp rock here. That happened after the water left. This part of the cave wasn't found until the 1920s. Older parts of Mammoth Cave that were toured in the 1820s, the walls are darker because the lanterns they used was old grease lamps. You ever burnt bacon? It creates a lot of smoke. And think of all the bacon grease and sausage drippings and country ham. Am I making you hungry? When they would cook breakfast that morning, they would use all the leftover grease to fuel the lamps in the cave. And those parts, those tunnels, are very black and very smoky. This part of the cave, they were already using, they weren't using grease lamps. They were using more of kerosene lamps or Coleman propane, white gas and stuff like that. And then by the 30s and 40s, the owner that owned this part of the cave, he started bringing in Delco generators and putting electric wires down here. And this was one of the first parts of the cave to have electricity in it. He was pretty ingenious. He was a good businessman. He made a deal with Delco. He said, I will advertise for you if you'll light the cave up for me. Kind of a win-win situation. Then the Great Depression hit, and everybody just started selling land and leaving. And so that's when the park movement started here. Kentucky said, hey, if they're selling all this land, let's make it a national park. They asked Congress. Congress said, yeah, but we're in a depression. We ain't got no money. So the state of Kentucky started collecting donations, and little families would sell here, and little families would sell there. And the families that wouldn't sell, the state of Kentucky said, well, there's something called eminent domain. We're gonna make this a park anyway. You got a year. And so that went on during the Great Depression. After about 20,000 acres was established, they called up Congress again. They said, we've been doing work for you. The people of Kentucky has a gift. We want you to preserve it and protect it. And they said, okay. But anyway, that's kind of how a little bit of that happened. I want you to look that direction. If we kept going this direction, notice I don't see any more stalactites. If you just look from about where he's standing that direction, it's dry. But from where I'm standing back that direction where we entered, it's wet. I'm right at the area where that's the side of the hill, and this is under the ridgetop. Somewhere above us is that sandstone. Of course, you can't see the sandstone in the cave. It's on top of us. It's kind of like if you're in the house, you can't see your roof. You got to go outside to look at your roof. So you could walk that direction for 8 hours plus, and you'll never see another drop of water. You won't see any more stalactites. You will see rooms that are over 2 acres in size. 2 acre rooms. And that's why it's called Mammoth. We've never found big mammoth bones down here. It's called Mammoth because it's gigantic. Okay? Sorry to disappoint you. Everybody wanted to see big woolly mammoths down here. We can dress up in outfits and run around, I guess. Yeah, you can keep going that direction, but it's just big and dry and long, and it just goes and goes and goes. Because it's following the ridge that's protected with a rooftop. And it's protected. Here it's not. It looks pretty, but it's changing a lot. Most people think of a cave, they think of stalactites and they think of bats.
88 steps. I'm assuming 44 down, 44 back up.
How many years do you think it took to, any idea? Do they have any idea? No.
We have a lot of geologists on this that visit here and that come to study the cave. And so I get to spend a lot of time with those experts. Everyone I spend time with tells me a different answer. And they're all experts. So if they don't know, I don't even try to guess at it.
Right.
I just know it's a slow process. I love the wall right here. Look at this flowstone. I'm sorry, I don't want to blind you, but look at that wall there.
Is that whole wall black, or is it just the...
No, that's not black.
When you look at it from over here,
The shadow will make it look
it
black.
must be the shadow coming.
Let me put this back on. Awesome. No, it's not black. Well, that's the shadow. Yeah. So, a stalagmite. That's one of these that come up from the ground. And I said stalag with a G. Stalag, G for ground. And it might grow to the ceiling. So stalagmite. Those hanging down are stalac with a C. But those are columns, because in Kentucky we sleep on our pillars. Yep. Cave humor is the lowest form of humor. But I bet you've heard of another name of this. This is also called travertine.
Okay.
You've heard of travertine tile?
Yes.
Travertine means flowing rock. Traveling rock. Travertine. So everything you see in this room technically is a travertine formation. It's traveling rock. It's little pieces of water dripping in, leaving little mineral deposits everywhere.
Kind of like this. Grab that piece of scalp I lost on the way in. Folks freak out, they see all that.
Yep, those are some. When they see them, they think spider instead of cricket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I see light at the end of the tunnel.
Several leggers, huh?
Yeah. A millipede or a centipede, I think it's a millipede.
I've been seeing a lot of them. So with that said, we'll explore some of the other stuff in the area. We'll see you next time.